Yo, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, guys. Today, I really want to touch on this again because I feel like everyone's missing the point here. I feel like with the new lore, everyone's so focused on LeBlanc and Atakan, they're missing the whole thing, that LeBlanc is a deceiver and everything that we've seen has really been out to deceive us. And everything has been according to LeBlanc's plan except for one thing. And then we're going to talk Rune Wars. I want to explain to you guys the Scars of Runeterra, the Rune Wars, what happened, why the Rune Wars took place, and what's Rise's whole goal, who's Brand, who's Tyrus, has a lot to do with the Blessed Isles as well, and where is Rise storing these world runes? A lot of people don't know about this, but if you go to the map of Runeterra, a place I frequently visit, there's more than just the map. And I'm talking about like literally right here. There's more. So if you click on this, there's the Conquerors for the Glory of Noxus, the Edge of the World. There's Who Needs a Map, that's Ezreal's Fields Notes, and there's Call of Power Video Gallery Collection. And you could literally see from the Call to Power cinematic where all this stuff took place. I always thought it was pretty cool. There's literally like the images from the Call to Power. You could see that event that we're going to talk about took place right here, the Demacian Vault. But before we get into all that, before we get into anything like that, it's time to make sure that no one gets deceived. I don't want anyone from my freaking stream to be deceived. I really don't. I want anyone from my stream to walk into a room and explain to everyone what's happening right now in the lore, and be able to say, this is what's up, and you guys are missing it. You're watching the wrong fight. LeBlanc's real plan revealed. It's a gambit, and the deception you're missing. So you're seeing, what I mean by you're seeing the wrong fight is that the recent lore developments around things Xin Zhao and Yunara and the reemergence of a DARKin weapon have captivated the community. But what if the story we're being shown, a heroic stand against an ancient evil, is just a distraction? The truth lies in the shadows, orchestrated by a master manipulator who has already declared victory. And she does that right here in the launch trailer.
The blossoms fall.
The blossoms fall.
And the black rose rises.
So we know that the blossoms are falling. Right now, that's the Spirit Blossom Festival. The blossoms are falling from the trees. And she's saying that as that's happening, the black rose is rising. So this is a good thing for the black rose.
Do you feel like the heroes of this story?
And I said this before, she's showing Yunara and Xin Zhao, and they do feel like the heroes of the story.
Coming to save the day. You're pawns in a game that's already been decided. You will fight.
She's saying she's already won. And then what does she want them to do? What is her plan for these people in the future? Like, what does she want them to continue to do?
You will fight as good soldiers do.
You'll fight as good soldiers.
I will seal you away once more.
So these are like Yunara and Xin Zhao's DARKin voice lines, and I think that they were chosen specifically for this. So Yunara saying, I will seal you away once more, is definitely a nod to the DARKin that she sealed before. The only DARKin that she ever sealed, which is the one that she went into the afterlife with. Well, not the afterlife, the spirit realm.
Your age has passed, DARKin. Stay buried.
Okay, but the thing is, right before that, LeBlanc said, you will fight as good soldiers do. And what do we see Yunara and Xin Zhao fighting in the trailer? DARKin. She wants them to fight, and in the end, she's going to win. The whole plan is that they will fight. Go ahead and fight. That's my goal for you, is to fight anyways.
And you will fail.
How will they fail?
As mortals must.
So saying they'll fail. This is just, I think, to show the skins. So nothing lore related here.
Your course was doomed the moment you left Demacia.
You will fail as good mortals must. And how are they going to fail? Well, you were going to fail the moment you left Demacia. We're going to talk about this, but Xin Zhao left Demacia on the behest of his king after he found the Spirit Blossom. He finds the Spirit Blossom, and Jarvan III literally tells him to go sail to Ionia and figure out what the heck's going on. And she's saying right now, LeBlanc, that you are doomed the moment you left Demacia. This is all just nothing there. This is really important.
And entered my world of thorns.
Entered my world of thorns. We see LeBlanc, the thorns. Right now she's showing you this is part of her world of thorns. We see the black rose, the chains, really reminiscent of Arcane where she took Mbessa. So let's see what's in her
And
world of
entered
thorns.
my world of thorns.
This is just skin stuff.
Make your final stand
Make your final stand against who?
and see how your story.
She's literally puppeting him, guys. Guys, she's literally puppeting him. This is her world of thorns. This is where she wants you to be. And she says, make your final... Man, come on, guys. Please follow me with this.
Make your final stand
Make your final stand. Puppeting.
and see how your story ends.
And see how your story ends. She wants them to fight Atakan. That's the goal. Please, fight Atakan. Focus on this guy. This is the guy you want to fight. Pay attention to him. You'll think you're fighting, you think your target is DARKin at the very beginning, but really where she wants you to look is the Atakan and the demon, her puppet, that she's
And
putting in
see
play.
how your story ends.
Make your final stand. And look, he's even in this image, he's wielding, even in like this.
Story ends.
He's got the DARKin weapon there. You can see it. Right there on the left. And then this is like the void, which is really has a lot to do with the DARKin. And I hope LeBlanc isn't trying to do anything with the void. That would be insane. It's already insane to start messing with DARKin, but to mess with the void, I don't know. That's insanity. Although the DARKin do have a lot to do with the void. The void is the reason the DARKin are the way they are. They were ascended god warriors of Shurima. And after the Void War in Acacia down here, so they were ascended god warriors in Shurima, the good guys. But after the Void War in Acacia, they became corrupted by the Void, and that led them to fall into becoming DARKin. So the main line, do you feel like the heroes of the story coming to save the day? You're pawns in a game that has already been decided. LeBlanc isn't just the villain in this story, she's the author, and the key to her entire plan was one unsuspecting honorable soldier Xin Zhao had no idea about. The catalyst, a single blossom. The entire change of events begins with what an anomaly. A spirit blossom native only to Ionia mysteriously bloomed in the royal gardens of Demacia. This single impossible flower was all it took. At the behest of the King Jarvan IV, Xin Zhao was sent on a journey to his homeland to find answers and a journey LeBlanc was counting on. I think really that LeBlanc had a lot to do with this spirit blossom appearing in Demacia. I don't know if this spirit blossom, whatever this one is that Xin Zhao found in Demacia, is very, very unique. It's special, and it's so special that it causes something crazy down the line. But she needed Xin Zhao there for some reason. Either one, she couldn't get that spirit blossom into Ionia herself, and so she looked for an Ionian outside of Ionia to do it. Either one, she's in Noxus and she couldn't get the spirit blossom to the location that she needed it to in Ionia, so she needed someone to carry it there, and she chose Xin Zhao in Demacia, a place Noxus already has a lot of influence in when it comes to the mage seekers and whatnot. So she could have easily gotten like the Black Rose spies are already in Demacia. She could have easily gotten that flower in place. I don't even think it's a spirit blossom tree. I think it was something entirely different, but it gave the illusion of a spirit blossom tree. We know how LeBlanc likes illusions. And I don't know of any Ionian champions anywhere else on Runeterra outside of Xin Zhao who are not in Ionia. Are there any other ones that she could have used? I don't really think so. I think he's it. And so she kind of had to use Xin Zhao. And so she uses him, plants the spirit blossom in Demacia using a Black Rose spy. Xin Zhao finds it. He's like, wow, this is crazy. And the King Jarvan IV is like, oh, go figure out why the heck this is happening. What's up, bro? Yo, what up? Is your name literally Genshin? So something, something, something. I see Genshin Impact. Something, something. What up, bro? What up? Okay, so then, yeah, Xin Zhao.
Of what makes a true Demacian.
Yeah. So great.
They speak of you.
Yeah, great job, Xin Zhao. And we'll leave it right there because this guy is heading to Ionia. Okay. And then when we get to Ionia, what's one of the first things you hear? First, yeah, we hear about Xin Zhao's backstory. Then he finds this.
Nonetheless,
He's looking for answers, easily manipulated into heading back to Ionia. He's a man like kind of lost at the time. Luckily, it's during the Spirit Blossom Festival, perfect timing, but this is what's really important. This is really important.
Ah, you're back! Brother, this is the one I told you about. The one with the sapling. It's quite magnificent. Beautiful. But like no spirit blossom tree I've ever seen. Is it from your home province? Quailing, perhaps? No. By his accent, surely down Sidaro way?
much further. In fact, this little tree has brought me halfway across the world. It grew in the palace gardens of the great city of Demacia.
That's impossible. Spirit blossoms do not fall beyond the first lands.
And yet, there it is. As we sailed east, I heard many strange things. Whispers that magic is rising everywhere.
So you gotta remember, this is after the events of the Arcane. Remember Arcane? The Arcane is waking up. Do you guys remember that? Yo, what up, Mad? Are me muted? I'm not muted. Can you guys not hear me? I see it coming through on the stream. Yo, that would suck. Can you guys not hear me? Test, test. Hello. Can you hear this? You can hear this, right? Like, if I play this music? All good, all good. Oh, okay. Ooh. Freaked me out, man. Freaked me out. I was like, oh, geez, I got to restart this whole thing. A quick recap, though, for you guys that are just getting in. We're talking about LeBlanc's real plan, okay? The real plan behind LeBlanc. Do you feel like the heroes of the story coming to save the day? You're pawns in a game that has already won. And I have a strong theory. I don't even know if it's a theory at this point. I'm so sorry. No, you're good, bro. What up? What up? I have a theory, and I don't even know if it's a theory because it's by the end of my theory, you guys are going to say it's so obvious that we all knew it. You're not even going to say, of course, Ant Grove. Okay, of course, Ant. We freaking knew it all the time because it's apparent to everyone. LeBlanc is playing the long game. I think LeBlanc, that spirit rose, that spirit blossom flower that Xin Zhao is carrying all across the world, was planted by LeBlanc in Demacia, and
make your final stand. And
look at this. She wants you to fight who? Because she has the puppet hand here. She's raising her puppet for Xin Zhao and Yunara to fight.
how your story ends.
It's Atakan wielding the DARKin blade. That's who she's saying, oh, this is you know, see how your story ends.
See how your story ends.
So she wants them to fight Atakan. That's her goal. Like, she wants them to pay attention there. Fight Atakan, let's see how your story ends. She's clearly making a puppet of Atakan, and she's using him for something. And she says at the end, at one point, your story was doomed the moment you left Demacia.
You will fight. That's already been decided. You will fight as good soldiers do. You feel like the heroes.
Wonder what she says.
Your pawns in a game save the day. Good.
Where is it?
And entered my
Yeah, right here. Listen to what she says here.
and entered
Oh, maybe it's
my...
before that.
Your course was doomed
Yeah.
the moment you left Demacia.
Your course was doomed the moment you left Demacia. Demacia and Xin Zhao leaving Demacia and going all the way across the world to Ionia was all a part of LeBlanc's plan. That's all within scope of her plan. And the thing that got Sinjao all the way to Demacia was what? This spirit blossom that he randomly found growing in the gardens of Demacia. And then even when he gets there, they're like, oh, that's a really interesting spirit blossom. They don't fall beyond the first lands. And yet here it is. It's unlike any spirit blossom they've ever seen. He sailed east, and I always thought it was interesting that he says halfway across the world. I thought this was all the way across the world. What are we missing, guys? Well, we do know that we've got like the Rune King stuff, so Camivore and the lands over here as well as where Nila is from. So there's definitely some land over there. We're aware of it. It's just not on this map. So halfway across the world is probably more accurate. But again, what do they say? I've heard whispers that magic is rising everywhere. Who do we know that says magic is rising everywhere? The arcane is waking up. Where is it? The truth, I just need to just say, the arcane is waking up. You guys remember that voice line, right? She says that in Arcane. I don't know if, who is this creature? Yeah, I don't know if I'm able to find it. But she says it in Arcane, I promise you. Okay, she says, the arcane is waking up. It's like, it might be in the trailer too. Well, at Endgrove, to be honest, I'm here to ask, what do you accept offers from designers or not somehow? I'm honestly so broke right now. I can't even imagine paying for anything else outside of just basic stuff. I got a whole website to pay for. I really got like nothing else on the side. And I've got a family. I got nothing to be able to provide like for designs or something. I would love to, but I can't right now. Thank you though. Well, he's saying, as we sailed east, I heard many strange things, whispers that magic is rising everywhere. This is after the events of Arcane. The arcane is waking up. LeBlanc says that. So I think she was already kind of pushing Sinjao the whole way across, tracking him and communicating with him and whispering to him while he was on his journey into Ionia. Once he got into Ionia, I don't think she could reach out to him anymore. Ionia is like a magical place. Made sense. No worries at all. Yo, thanks, Matt. So once he got into Ionia, it was already too late. Like he was already within Ionia and she couldn't reach out to him and connect with him. But I think she was connecting with him across his whole journey.
What if the blossoms are a sign of something more? A change in...
Careful, traveler.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I think Kennen is a big problem. Kennen is a problem. This pilgrimage was not about finding peace. It was about positioning a pawn. LeBlanc says it. You are a pawn in a game way bigger than yourselves. When Sinjao planted the sapling from that blossom in Ionia, he didn't just plant a tree. He unknowingly provided the anchor LeBlanc needed. His action violently pulled an ancient temple of Priestess Yunara and the powerful DARKin glaive sealed within it from the spirit realm into the material realm. And I can prove it right here. Look at this. What happens? He meets with Kennen and all this, and they're talking. Kennen's like
Not a single blossom
lecturing
in
him.
all the years of the occupation. Then, barely a season after the invaders left, the whole of Ionia blooms together.
Yeah, Kennen's just like a silly person. He talks about the Yunara and all that, and
She herself had done no wrong.
I considered her often among my time at Demacia, and he was perfect. He really was perfect for LeBlanc to use to get this spirit blossom in the right place. This is all just like a lecture conversation. It's not like super relevant to the theory. Okay.
Foot here in all my life, and yet I feel something, a connection of sorts.
A connection of sorts. I don't think that connection is good. I think that's a bad connection that LeBlanc made for him.
A home.
Nowhere in particular. Why not see for yourself?
Kennen literally takes him there. And how LeBlanc got Kennen to take him there, I don't know. But I think LeBlanc maybe had something to do with that as well. But the main thing is where he plants the spirit blossom, guys. Look at exactly where he's planting it.
It is only right that all things should return home.
Look where he's planting it exactly. He plants it here.
That all
Look at the top. There's like this mountain crest on top, right on the right side. You can see these stairs leading up. This place is right here. You can see that crest over top, the stairs leading up. This is that exact place. The exact place that Yunara's temple gets pulled into the material realm. It's the same. And boom, there's the temple that was teleported to the spirit realm. Now it completes the mountain, more obvious on the structure as to why that rock was just hanging there. But the goal really wasn't to pull Yunara from the spirit realm. The goal was to pull the temple from the spirit realm. And Yunara is just part of, she's connected to the temple. You can see her little house there on the left side. If I make it bigger, her little house there is on the left, and that's the temple in the middle. And that was LeBlanc's plan, was to pull the temple from the spirit realm, which contains the DARKin weapon, back into Ionia. And she does this through Xin Zhao by luring him to Ionia from Demacia and getting him to plant the DARKin weapon there. Let's get some Ionia music going. What a silly man. There's no accident. This was step one. LeBlanc herself confirms it. Your course was doomed the moment you left Demacia. The distraction, Ata Khan's rampage. With the DARKin glaive now accessible, LeBlanc needed to control the narrative. She needed a big, obvious threat to occupy the heroes. Enter the demon Ata Khan. A recent tweet from the official League of Legends account shows us exactly what LeBlanc wants Xin Zhao and Yunara to see. Ata Khan wielding the very DARKin glaive they're trying to protect. Ancient evil returns, and the trials of Twilight begin. Join the fight in Season 3 starting today, and you can see, what is this image? First, we see Xin Zhao on his knees. This is basically what we're seeing on the left side, is almost like the front view of him here. We see Xin Zhao looking up. He's looking at the Demacian throne room. If we go to like Demacia here, I can show you this exact room. Here. This is the exact room that he's in. Right here. The Hall of Valor, where fallen Demacian warriors remember for the sacrifice, and that's usually where the king is sitting. It's called the Hall of Valor. That's where he is in this image. He's looking at the Hall of Valor. It's destroyed. There's fire everywhere. And who's there? Who's there? Ata Khan, wielding the DARKin glaive. And what else do we see? Fractures. We see like these cracks. Who do we know who's associated with like mirrors and cracking? Well, LeBlanc. LeBlanc is very associated with mirrors and cracking. This is almost like a hallmark of hers. So that all means that this is an illusion. And the only reason we're seeing an illusion isn't just because Xin Zhao made it up in his head. It's LeBlanc is creating the illusion that she wants him to see. So why would she want him to see Demacia on fire and Ata Khan wielding a DARKin glaive? Well, the only reason that makes sense to me is that she wants him to realize this is a threat. It's a danger to the world. She's showing something that he loves on fire, burning down. And then she's showing him, oh, this is your enemy, Ata Khan, wielding a DARKin weapon. That's the bad guy. He's going to destroy everything you love. The threat was seeded long ago in Xin Zhao's mind through a nightmare, a vision of a destroyed Demacian throne room, and Ata Khan claiming the glaive. It's highly likely this vision was a carefully crafted illusion sent by LeBlanc herself to plant the seed of fear and focus his attention squarely on the demon. This is the vision she sends. She sends this vision to Ata Khan. We see the throne room is like fallen. We see the tree of Yunara that was holding the DARKin glaive right there. We see like literally a silver wing is punctured with a bunch of spears. Demacians are dead all over the floor. She's really focusing in on the DARKin weapon. She says DARKin are bad, right? Look how bad these DARKin are. And who's with the DARKin? Who's on the throne, right? Like who's calling the shots here? Who's really, like if she wanted to actually show you who's calling the shots, she would just sit on the throne herself. But who does she put on the throne at the end? After he picks up the DARKin weapon. Here we go. Something's emerging. Ata Khan picks up the DARKin weapon. And then he sits on the throne. You see that oil splatter? Almost like he's leading the DARKin. And the Demacia has fallen. You can see Ata Khan behind the throne there. So she showed him, hey, Ata Khan picked up this DARKin weapon and he's on the throne and he's leading to Demacia's fall. And that's what this image is showing as well. Ata Khan is your focus. Look at Demacia, it's on fire. Pay attention. Pay attention, Zhao. And then the most telling clue is the promotional image. I said this. Notice the cracks across the scene. Like a fractured mirror in the center is the same vision of Demasia's fall. The shattered glass motif is a signature hallmark of LeBlanc's magic and illusion. She isn't just predicting the future, she's showing them a carefully constructed lie. While Xin Zhao and Yunara fight the big scary demon, LeBlanc is free to pursue her real objective. So what is her real objective? What's the real motive of LeBlanc? Well, we actually do know that too. It's a new host. So if Atakan is just a smokescreen, what does LeBlanc actually want? The answer is simple. The DARKin weapon, but not for the demon. She needs a host, someone powerful she can control. The Black Rose has been dealt a significant blow recently. Vladimir, her rival, not really rivals, they're like frenemies. You know, they're both in the Black Rose. But he points out her weakness after she fails to secure Atakan's power previously. That's not right. After she fails to secure a host previously, I have to fix that. So I typed these in a day, guys. So give me some slack on this. I meant to say she fails to secure a host for the DARKin weapon previously. That happens right here.
The first lands.
Yeah.
Ionia is but a doorway.
Yes, come claim your prize.
Besides,
Right here.
your puppet LeBlanc. Listen to your puppet LeBlanc. Besides, you have no host. And even if you did, the new Grand General would never approve another campaign in Ionia.
He doesn't want this. Vladimir is saying, I do not want you to go do this event. He doesn't want her to start messing with DARKin. Vladimir knows DARKin are bad. I mean, his whole lore, his backstory, the reason he has blood magic is because of the DARKin. He was literally serving under a DARKin for a long time. More pressingly, we know that Vladimir and Katerina assassinate LeBlanc's prior host. This wasn't just a political move. It left the deceiver vulnerable. So with this addition, this was her prior host. I don't know if I play the music, but you can see, look at his mask here, guys. Note the mask on this guy. And then Katerina's clearly focusing on him, and she does eventually get the kill right here. Boom. She gets the kill right there. She killed that guy, and you can see him dead here. Yeah, he's dead on the floor. And a later tweet confirmed the kill, showing the slain host's mask on Vladimir's desk. The evidence is clear. LeBlanc is down a key asset and in desperate need of a new powerful tool. So this was a tweet by League of Legends, and you can see in the picture, there's the mask of the guy that Katerina killed, as well as some blood vials. This is clearly Vladimir's desk, and killing that guy was a part of Vladimir's plan. He paid Katerina off to get him killed because she didn't want LeBlanc to have a host. This isn't about unleashing chaos with Atakan, it's about securing a DARKin for a new host, one loyal to the Black Rose, or more specifically, LeBlanc. While the heroes are busy fighting the monster in the spotlight, LeBlanc is in the shadows, ready to claim her prize and elevate a new champion under her thumb. And that's the end of the article. So that's not, I mean, I don't even know if it's a theory, guys. I feel like it's just so, I mean, maybe I'm missing something, but it seems pretty obvious that LeBlanc really orchestrated Xin Zhao's journey across the first land, across the whole world, into Ionia to carry the Spirit Blossom that I don't even think was a Spirit Blossom. She had him lead him to plant it right here in this exact spot that ended up pulling in Yunara's temple with the DARKin blade into Ionia. And she says in that original trailer, right, you were doomed the moment you left Demacia. The moment that really means that that was part of her plan, was for him to leave Demacia. This is not just like a single plan. This is plans within plans. Your course was doomed the moment you left Demacia. And then she has a distraction waiting for them, something for them to focus on. You will fight as good mortals do. And she always has Atakan with Demacia burnt down. She really wants Xin Zhao to focus on Atakan so that she can do what she wants in the shadows. The moment you left Demacia, and you can see right here, Atakan is just a puppet. You enter my world of thorns.
Make your final stand.
Make it. Against her puppet.
And see how your story ends.
Make your final stand against my puppet and see how your story ends. This is all within LeBlanc's plan. and we're still following it perfectly to a T. And that's what people are missing. So don't be deceived. We haven't been winning. We're not in a good place. Yunara here is not a good thing, and we'll see what happens. Next article. Next piece of lore I want to go through with you guys is the Rune Wars. The Scars of Runeterra, a chronicle of the Rune Wars. I feel like the Rune Wars, people know it. They know it was bad. They're aware that it like happened in the past. What they're not aware of is like, where are we at today? What's actually in play and what isn't with the Rune Wars, and what's the exact lore behind it. So let's pull up. I think Brand is in here too, isn't he? Let me see. Because we could pull him up a little bit later. Yeah, Brand is in here too. So we're going to pull up Brand. But first, we got to pull up Rise. Where's he at? Rise. I always liked Rise. I always liked Rise's model. And I think he has one of the best models in Wild Rift. Just looks like he's on an adventure. This little book. And let's change this music. Alright, The Scars of Runeterra, a chronicle of the Rune Wars. An echo of destruction. The history of Runeterra is written in the scars left by a war that nearly unmade the world. Long before the rise of Demacia or Noxus, mortals discovered the very tools of creation, the world runes. What followed was a cataclysm of ambition, greed, and destruction on a scale that defies imagination. This is the story of the Rune Wars and the event that shaped the modern world and left one man with an eternal, lonely burden. This is from Rise's Champions page. Take care with this world. What is made can be unmade. And that's Rise's login screen if you guys want to listen to it. The discovery of creation's fire. The conflict began with a bang, with not a bang, but a whisper. A young apprentice named Rise first heard of the world runes from his master, a sorcerer named Tyrus of Helia. Helia was the capital of the Blessed Isles, a center of knowledge and enlightenment before its fall. Rise and his master were members of an ancient order tasked with protecting dangerous artifacts, and the runes were the most dangerous of all. They were fragments of the raw magic that had shaped the world from nothingness. In their youth, Rise and Tyrus even guided the legendary Callista to the Blessed Isles, a testament to their connection to the world's deep magic. So you can see it here. This is Tyrus, and this happened during the Wild Rift Callista's Odyssey event, and he is on a ship, and Callista's really there because she was told by Soraka, you know, you could have a great life, or you can continue your story and end up like, you know, end up in darkness. And the whole reason that for Callista's Odyssey is that her king, Viego, was almost got killed, right, by a dagger. I can show you, let me show you the Ruination book trailer, because I feel like that really does a great job. Let me show you guys that. This is why Callista's Odyssey even happens. I feel like it fits really well here. I'll add it to the article later. Listen to this. Yeah.
Camivore, an empire of conquest, of kings who rule absolute. Callista, spear of the Argent Throne, forswore the life of a princess and vowed to guard her uncle, King Viego, from any who would do him harm. She thought she succeeded. She could not protect his heart, his world. Now
Yeah.
she searches for a
That's
cure
the Blessed Isles.
in places of myth and legend.
No, we can just finish it. It's a very good cinematic.
She is not prepared for the
That's who will become
darkness
Thresh.
she'll bind.
That's who will become Thresh. He's a Thresher. Thresh is a great character. Thresh is one of my favorite characters. I feel like his story is really good. He's just like pure evil. In a lot of ways, he's like one of those great antagonists of the Runeterra universe. But now you understand, Callista, she's from this place called Camivore. It's all the way on the right side of the map. You can't even see it on here. It doesn't exist. We can go to like map of Camivore. This is a map that came from the book. And yeah, you can see it right there. This is the map of Camivore. You can see the independent lands. That's where Neela is from as well, if you know her from Bilgewater. Camivore is over here, and you can see this place in the middle where it says Eternal Ocean that they all kind of skip. What we're seeing here is trade routes. The reason they're skipping that is because it was a place that was covered in this mist that they couldn't get through. And the reason that mist was there is because that's where the Blessed Isles are. Now today, we know them as the Shadow Isles. And they become the Shadow Isles because of the events that we're about to talk about. But Callista meets Soraka on her way there, trying to figure out this way to get to these blessed waters, how Viego can save a soul with his wife, who Callista feels somewhat responsible for her getting poisoned. She's about to die. She meets Soraka. Soraka tells her, go back home, you know? You'll get a good life, you'll live with the man you love. And then she's like, then what about the path I take? And she's like, darkness. I came here to get answers to a specific question and do not have the luxury of time. Please give me the answer. You are a pragmatic soul. I'll tell you this. And she tells her, the Golden Maiden of the Sea will take you there. That's the Golden Maiden of the Sea will take you to the Blessed Isles. That's what Soraka tells her. Soraka's has to do with Targon. She can like kind of see the future in a lot of ways. I can say no more. Okay, so she goes. They're sailing around. They see the Crimson War Party, which is a group of, I think, Vistaya, right? Crimson Warriors Girls are Vistayan hunters, yeah, from the depths. So they don't like people. They're boarding and attacking a ship, but Callista helps them. She fights, protects them. And what happens at the front of the ship? There's a Golden Maiden that would guide you. Look, at the front of the ship, there's a Golden Maiden. Yeah. And then who's on the ship? Tyrus. Greetings, warriors. Many thanks for your assistance. I am Seeker Adept Tyrus. This is my apprentice, Rise, who is on a learning journey with me. I am Callista, and this is the captain of the Daggerhawk, Venix. To be frank with you, Master Tyrus, we're on a quest to find the Blessed Isles. Tyrus knows. He's from the Blessed Isles right now. Oh, Princess Callista, the Blessed Isles are a myth. We both know that is not true. They are hidden within the mist, the heart of this ocean. I seek the Isles only to find a cure for my dying queen. Please, I am begging you, Master. The young king adores his queen. She is his life. And I fear that what he would do should she succumb. That sounds like a threat, a way to coerce me to reveal anything I might know about your fantastical Blessed Isles. I could have prevented it. I should have prevented it. His fury will turn upon Camivore's neighbors, or even the people of his own kingdom, and it will be my fault. Coming upon you was no accident. A single-horned seer told me that it was written in the heavens that the Golden Maiden of the Seas would lead me to the Isles. That's your ship. A single-horned seer, the Star Child? You say you actually met her. So he knows of her. I did it, and it was her guidance that led me to you. I swear on the ancestors, I will reveal the truth of the Isles. Imprison me forever if that's what you need to do. But please, if there's any way your scholars can help, do not deny me. And he does eventually lead her to the Blessed Isles. Yeah, and in the next one, you actually see Rise as a child. So if we go to, like, I think I have the Callista's Odyssey.
Hello and welcome to the...
I gotta go to my channel. I posted them all the Callista's Odyssey event videos. Let me see. Where is he? Callista's Odyssey. I think that one was 2 of 3, right? Let me see. Or was that 1 of 3? Let me see. Yeah, that was 1 of 3. So we can see she gets there, talks to him. I know we saw Rise as a child. Was it in the other one? I don't know. I'll find it for you guys later, and I'll put it in the article. Despite the Order's efforts to keep them safe, knowledge of the runes spread. As another ancient and brilliant mind, Heimerdinger warns, such power in mortal hands is a recipe for annihilation. So this is from Arcane. Currently in the lore, Heimerdinger actually witnessed the Rune Wars. I think what happened, because the Rune Wars were still a very long time ago. Like we're talking 1,000 years before the events of Arcane would be the canon lore. But Heimerdinger states in the story that he's like 300 years old, just about. So what makes sense to me is Heimerdinger was around during the Rune Wars, but then he went back to Bandle City before coming back to the material realm of Runeterra. So he did witness the Rune Wars.
What is that?
I'm calling it the Hex Core.
Yeah, so he sees the Hex Core.
There are stories of healing that our samples thus far perish, but...
And he witnesses the Rune Wars.
You must destroy it.
Yeah, so he's like, I've seen magic like this before. It's a problem, and you must destroy it, because he's scared of another Rune Wars. Knowledge of the runes began to spread. Few could even begin to understand their importance or the sheer power held within them, and yet all saw them as weapons that could be turned against their rivals. So the first cataclysm. So really what happened here, if we're talking about like just the events over time, like a timeline, if I can give you guys an exact timeline. You have Callista's Odyssey events. Callista sails with her crew over to Bilgewater. They eventually get into the Shadow Isles, well, the Blessed Isles at this time, and they meet Tyrus and Rise. And eventually, she does get access. She talks to them. They say, okay, bring your queen here. She leaves, goes back home to Camavor. She gets Viego and all of them. They come back. I don't think they say, get your queen here. I think they pretty much turn her down. Or they say, I forgot the exact lines, but she does leave the Blessed Isles to go get Viego and his queen. She brings them back to the Blessed Isles, and that's where Viego, does his whole thing where we see in the Runed King. So if we go to Runed King cinematic, we can see the Blessed Isles, and keep in mind that the world runes are housed here in the Blessed Isles. Viego pretty much cuts everyone down because they tell him Isolde is already dead. There's nothing that we can do for you. You cannot use the Blessed Waters. We don't know what would happen if you did. And Viego just cuts through them all and says, I'm going to put her through the Blessed Waters, and there's nothing you can do about it. I need to save my wife, Isolde. Rise and Tyrus were here at the time, along with Callista. But Rise and Tyrus escape. Well, Callista doesn't. Rise and Tyrus escape before this happens. They leave. The actual true reason that this happens is not because of Isolde being resurrected, even though she's dead. That's part of it, but the main thing is, you can see it happening here. That weapon is not a normal weapon. That's soul render. I'll explain it in a bit. And that's how the Blessed Isles becomes the Shadow Isles. And the Blessed Mist becomes the Black Mist. And then we get the Shadow Isles, which is present day. And you gotta remember, what did I say the Blessed Isles were? It was like 1,000 years earlier. 1,022 years ago, okay? So this was a long time ago. Long time ago, keep that in mind. What I was saying was that soul render, it's a special weapon. It literally rends the soul of the person. And so the combination of his soul being rendered and then being healed by the Blessed Waters keep interacting with each other, and that's what creates undeath. And that's what caused the Blessed Isles to become what it is today, which is the Shadow Isles. And so So now the timeline is, right, we had Callista's Odyssey event. She comes there, she goes back to Camivore, gets Viego, brings him back. He does whatever he does to the Blessed Isles, kills everyone, puts a soul into the Blessed Waters. It becomes the Shadow Isles, but Rise and Tyrus escape before that. They were on the Blessed Isles, but they leave when before like Viego turns it into the Shadow Isles. And then, so the problem is that the world runes were on the Blessed Isles. At this point, when they become the Shadow Isles, they somehow get out into the world, along with some other stuff that was on the Blessed Isles, like protected weapons. Even like that group that's against Viego, they use like those weapons that they don't really shoot. Man, what was their name? I always said their story needs to be like retconned. They're over here. Sentinels of Light. The Sentinels of Light, those weapons come from the Blessed Isles. So the first cataclysm occurs. The first devastating blow of the Rune Wars was struck in the Noxie territories, Rise's homeland. As two Ionians clashed, Rise and Tyrus watched in horror as the world runes were unleashed. The earth fell away beneath them. The bedrock itself seemed to retch and squeal, while the sky above them recoiled as if mortally wounded. They looked back upon the valley where the rival armies had stood, and beheld instantly destruction beheld insanity. Destruction on a scale so massive that it defied all physical sense. The buildings, the people, all were gone, and the ocean, once a day's journey to the east, now rushed to meet them. So this happened on a coastal settlement over in Noxus. It's somewhere over here. So I think it was actually this. If you see this like little spot, you see Draken Gate. It's kind of like has like this little island here off the edge of it. But if you look at the map of Camivore, look at this. Look up here, guys. In Valoran, which I don't think you can see the Freljord here. I think this is up to Noxus. They never get to the Freljord. Because you gotta remember, this map comes from Camivore. I think this little piece up here on the left side that's kind of like extending out, there was more to it. And that's why on the current map of Runeterra, we don't see this, like it all became water, because this island like used to extend farther, but it used to be connected. And you can see this is where the memory occurs. So it's over here, and that's why the water rushes to meet them. It's like a coastal settlement. It's destroyed. World runes are magic on a nuclear level. Think nukes. So this was a nuclear war, and that's the whole thing with Heimerdinger and Rise. Heimerdinger's fear of magic throughout Arcane. Rise's whole story. They're all tied to they never want to see another rune war again. A nuclear war should never happen in Runeterra ever. This was just the beginning. Open warfare soon raged across the globe, with every nation scrambling to possess these ultimate weapons. So, forever haunted by the devastation he witnessed during the Rune Wars, Rise has sworn never to allow such power to be wielded again. The seduction of power. The most insidious aspect of the world runes was not just their destructive capability, but their power to corrupt, that tempted even the strongest and most virtuous souls. The betrayal of a master. As the war raged on, Rise's master Tyrus grew distant. He pleaded for restraint from world leaders, but was met with refusal. The constant failure of the proximity of the runes' power began to wear on him. Rise eventually discovered a horrifying truth. To his horror, discovered that Tyrus of Helia had secretly come into possession of not one rune, but two. Bitter and angry, the older mage insisted that common mortals were like reckless children, toying with powers they did not understand. He would no longer play diplomat. He had to stop them. So, basically, freaking Rise's master Tyrus is like, okay, I need to stop these mortals from destroying everyone and everything in Runeterra, and I'm going to use the world runes to do it. So he's going to be, the only way to stop this threat is to say, look, everyone needs to stop fighting, stop using the world runes, or I'm going to destroy you. Tyrus had once sought but only peace, but was now consumed by the same temptation he fought against. Seeing no other choice, Rise was forced to kill his only friend and master to prevent the great catastrophe. And that's literally what's happening here. This is the shard of, I think it's, which one is it? Why did I not put it there? Let me see, world runes. Legend of Runeterra. Each shard has a name. Oh, yeah, I put them at the bottom. Let me just scroll down really quick. This is the Shard of Betrayal. So this is where Rise felt betrayed. And that's why it's the art for the Shard of Betrayal. Yeah. Of all the wrongs Rise has witnessed in his time on Runeterra, this cut the deepest. How could his own master, who inculcated in Rise the virtues of control and patience, lose himself so fully to the world runes? How? You could see, literally, this is him having to stop his master, because his master was about to use the world runes to stop everyone from fighting. Like, basically fight fire with fire. And then the fall of an apprentice. Rise would face this same failure again. He took on an apprentice of his own, a bitter but magically gifted Freljordian named Keegan Rodhi. Rise tried to teach him humility and control, but Keegan's resentment and desire for power made him vulnerable. After tracking down one such fragment, Keegan faced the same desperate temptation that had driven so many before him to madness. The runes were the source of all magic in the world, and against his master's warnings, he chose to seize the power for himself. Rise was forced to watch in failure as his apprentice was burned away by the raw magic, Keegan's soul utterly consumed. The creature that was born in that moment would eventually become known as Brand. Keegan Rodhi was gone, replaced by a being of pure fire and vengeance, now also hunting the world runes for himself. Once a tribesman of the icy Freljordian named Keegan Rodhi, the creature known as Brand is a lesson of temptation of great power. Seeking one of the legendary world runes, Keegan betrayed his companions and seized it for himself, and in an instant the man was no more. His soul burned away, his body a vessel of living flame. Brand now roams Valoran in search of other runes, swearing revenge for wrongs he could not have suffered in a dozen mortal lifetimes. So that's who Brand is. Brand is an apprentice that Rise took on after he lost his teacher, Tyrus, to the world runes. So Rise didn't lose just one people to the world runes. He's lost two people, probably the closest people to him, as a result of the world runes. And I'm sure he feels even more responsible for Brand because he chose Brand. He took him under his wing. Well, Keegan Rodhi is who he took under his wing to become, who eventually became Brand. A world in ruins. The Rune Wars ended only when the greatest civilizations had all but destroyed one another. The world was scarred, its geography rewritten, and entire cities erased from history. In the comic Rise the Burning Land, Rise walks through the ruins of one such city in Shurima, a place once known as the City of Gardens. The sun did not curse this place. It died as so many things die. This is Rise talking within the novel, within the comic. It died as so many things die, in the fires of greed. A whole city and its people lost, annihilated in one terrible moment. All that pain, so many lives, now just forgotten echo of the Rune Wars. We were fools. We thought we could control their power, but no mortal can. Even the greatest of our order were not immune to their lure, speaking of Tyrus there. That arrogance, that greed brought the world to the brink of ruin. It can never be allowed to happen again. This destroyed the city and can still be found on the map of Runeterra, a permanent reminder of the war's cost. So you can literally see it on the map of Runeterra, the City of Garden. So if we go here, this is actually where they are in the comic, the City of Gardens, and it was destroyed during the World Runes. All that remains now lies in ruin. The Eternal Warden. With the war over, eventually the Rune Wars does end. Rise understood the terrible burden he had inherited. As long as simple world runes remained, as long as a single world rune remained in the world, Runeterra was doomed to repeat its mistake. This knowledge was to become a lonely burden indeed. For ever since that day, he has scoured the world in search of the last remaining runes. He continues to reject the promise of power within each one, choosing instead to bind them in secret locations, far from prying and greedy eyes. We actually know where that location is, where Rise is storing those world runes. The shards of the world runes themselves tell tales of the conflicts that defined Runeterra's history, from the fall of Shurima and the Blessed Isles to the rise of the Void. So there's the Shard of Madness. The god warriors of Shurima were thought perilous, perfect, but years of war against an unstoppable foe eventually bowed their spirits, then broke them entirely. Zolani and Aatrox turned on each other in a dispute that soon threatened Runeterra's very existence. And that's the Shard of Madness, the purple one. The Shard of Betrayal. Of all the wrongs Rise had witnessed in his time of Runeterra, this cut the deepest. How could his own master, who included in Rise the virtues of control and patience, lose himself so fully to the world runes? How? And that's Rise, having to kill Tyrus, because he wanted to use the world runes to save Runeterra, I guess, like everyone else. Shard of Violence. Rise watched on as the mindscape before him constructed itself. Before him, the Acathians warred with Shurima in a desperate bid for freedom. Rise knew too well what came next, but watched on regardless. Cruel purple tendrils burst out, engulfing the battlefield. Acathia reached for freedom, but in the darkness unleashed the void upon Runeterra. So what he witnessed, if you can see in the background the void coming through, and this is Acathia on the right versus Shurima on the left. That was Acathia's rebellion over here, and that's what made Acathia what it is today. Just like the void basically rampant within it, because they summoned the void, but the void doesn't care about take sides really. It's the void. It just destroyed everyone and everything. The fall of Acathia, you can see this is the void war in Acathia. A great and terrible battle was fought against the void before the walls of ancient Acathia. The aftermath, the lands all around that damned city became deserted wastes, and its very existence was struck from the maps of Shurima. It was hoped, perhaps foolishly, that the horrors unleashed there would eventually be forgotten. Then there's the Shard of Hope. Remember, Rise witnessed this one. Love, a fog that blinds the wise to reason, and that rides the patient of patient, that robs. I meant to write robs. Love. I copied this from this was a copy paste, so I don't know why it says rides. I think it should say robs, right? That seems wrong. Well, love, a fog that blinds the wise to reason, and that rides the patient of patience. Rise watched on as the king lowered his beloved beneath the waters, and closed his eyes as the screaming began. Rise felt the cold grip of undeath spread through the room, then beyond, all for love. This is the Shard of Hope, and hope is a dangerous thing. Shard of Reverence. Lust for power seemed a common trait among the Runeterrans. Even Targon's revered few craved it, and so when they realized that simple flattery could bring them the power of the stars themselves, they didn't hesitate. This one is confusing to me, because I don't think that the Runeterrans were actually the ones that trapped Aurelian's soul. I think it was the aspects, but this was talking about like the entrapping of Aurelian's soul and the crown and all that. It's the Shard of Reverence. His life abnormally prolonged by the magic he's exposed to. That explains why he's been around for freaking 1,000 years. Rise's quest is endless. He travels the world from the frozen wastes of the Freljord to the bustling ports of Bilgewater, securing the runes from those who would misuse them. Sometimes through diplomacy, often through force. As a twist of fate, and you can see Rise in this cinematic actually fighting Nocturne. It's a bit loud. I always thought it was a cool cinematic. I don't think it has any lore relevance. I don't know of a time when Rise fought Nocturne in the lore, canonically. But you did get a look at Rise's power. Nocturne is a demon. He's the demon of nightmares. Yeah, so him being able to just go up against a demon is pretty wild. Rise is powerful. And it's not just the world runes that make him powerful. He's a pretty powerful individual. And that's it. The rest is like other people fighting. That's more of like a trailer just for League of Legends in general. And his journey is one of constant conflict and sacrifice, confronting nightmares made manifest, troll kings, rival mages, and even the servants of the void, all drawn to the power of the runes. And so if we go to the map of Runeterra, again, we can go through this, the Call of Power. So we start with the Demacian Vault. You know what, let me show you this is the Call of Power, the Rise cinematic.
There is a great power in this world.
That's a world rune.
Ancients.
Shard of Violence.
And forgotten.
And we can see we're in Demacia here. This is a petricite tree.
It transformed fields of bare stone into wonders of life and magic. It carved mountains, drained oceans, and burned skies.
So he's discovering something here. He's saying, you know,
never faded. It only grew stronger.
So he's already got the rune here.
Hidden away, waiting to be found.
So he teleports in. This is a temple that he found.
The stronger it grows, the louder it calls.
This is where he's storing the world runes, underneath this petricite tree, a temple that he discovered.
Others seek to claim this power for strength, balance, control.
That was Tyrus's failure. Control. That's what really got him to be corrupted by the world runes. He remembers this city being destroyed in Noxus.
I was weak then. Naive. So I vowed. Never again.
I'll explain all of these different scenes. So remember, he's fighting right here with Misfortune. This is that Protector in Shurima, Nasus. Here in Ionia. Freljord, he pretty much goes all over the world. And there's like a story that each one's explained.
The call of power.
This is when he was obtaining that world rune that we saw at the beginning of the cinematic. Few can resist the call of power. This is not a watcher. A lot of people think it's a watcher. It's a frozen watcher. It's basically a voidborn. It's not a watcher. It's a frozen watcher, which is much weaker. If he was facing a watcher, he would have lost. What's interesting is that it's after the world rune. So clearly the watchers, because this does serve the watchers, are aware of the world rune's power. And are after it. Shoot. Rise freaking popped him like a pimple. More like a balloon. Popped him like a balloon.
Many say I hold too much power.
This is a very important line.
Others say I can't be trusted. Maybe they're right. But the only power I truly have is the strength to let it go.
The only power I truly have is the strength to let it go. And so we could see he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 world runes. He's missing one, and we'll say which one is that, which one that is. So we got, you've got the Shard of Madness is the purple one. Where is it? Why is that playing? Okay. Where'd it go? Okay. Shard of Madness is the purple one. That's on the right. And you have the Shard of Betrayal. That's the green one. That's on the left. The Shard of Violence. He just got that one. That's in the middle. And we've got the Shard of Reverence. That's that one on the left. On the left there in the back. And so he only is missing the Shard of Hope. The blue one. That's the last one that he needs to complete his collection. And each of these places that we just saw in the story, there's like, it's in the map of Runeterra, the Demacian Vault. Deep beneath the ancient Pestrocyte groves, Rise has found a forgotten vault where the volatile energies of the world rune shards can be safely contained. So you can see that's the vault that he discovered, and it makes sense that it'd be in Demacia. Pestrocyte has a natural magic dampening effect, and so you'd want it being encased in Pestrocyte would probably dampen the magic. Now, he could also have turned Demacia into a giant nuke, because there's like literally all the world runes concentrated in one place. I'm sure it was something similar in the Blessed Isles that they were using to contain the world runes. But yeah, I don't think King Jarvan is aware that Rise is doing this. And we can go to the next one, Memories of Destruction. Head over to Noxus. Forever haunted by the devastation he witnessed during the Rune Wars. Let's play Rise's theme. I like Rise's theme. I think it's a good one. I think he's got a cool theme. Forever haunted by the devastation he witnessed during the Rune Wars, Rise has sworn never to allow such power to be wielded again. There we go. Shootout on the Bay. While seeking passage east from Bilgewater, Rise finds himself caught in the crossfire between misfortune and a rival captain's crew. Guardians of Knowledge. Long before Shurima rose again from the sands, Rise and the Ascended Scholar Nasus delved into a ruined archive beneath the Great Sigh and awakened his protector. The protector is one we saw in the cinematic, and they're saying long before Shurima rose again from the sands. So this is before Azir awoken again to raise the Sun Disk a second time. If you don't know this, like the Sun Disk rose and fell. So we had the Sun Disk, they raised the Mortal God Warriors, they had the Void War, then the Sun Disk fell during Azir's failed ascension with Xerath pushing him out of the way and taking all the power for himself, caused the Sun Disk to fall. Now the Ascended Leaderless eventually fell and became DARKin, led to the DARKin War, and eventually at like present time, Azir has awakened, he rises again with Sivir's help, and he raises the Sun Disk from the sands. And so this is the second rising of the Sun Disk. It's now up again in Shurima. Silent Allies. In the wake of the Noxian invasion of Ionia, Rise and Sona traveled to the renowned monastery of Harana, only to be ambushed by the Navori Brotherhood. And so these are all like in order, right? Now he's Silent Allies, then Freljord in diplomacy. Rise cannot reveal his true purpose to anyone. Sometimes this can lead to unpleasant confrontations with the locals, such as the self-styled Troll King Trundle. And so that's, you see, like, he can't say anything about it because he doesn't want people knowing that he's hoarding these world runes, because people are going to come after them and him to acquire them. At the end of the day, people, like, think about LeBlanc. If LeBlanc knew that Rise had these world runes, you think that she would just leave him alone? I don't think so. I think she would probably go after him and try to acquire the world runes for herself. It's a lot of power. Probably the most powerful artifacts in all of Runeterra are the world runes. And then facing the void. Look how far north this is. Far beyond the known lands of Valoran. Look how he's still shirtless, man. You think this guy was iceborn. I think he just uses magic to keep himself warm. Far beyond the known lands of Valoran, in the deepest, darkest spaces beneath the world, servants of the mythical watchers are drawn to the power of the world runes. That's a great shot of the Watcher there. And you can see how far north this is. Like, this guy's not even in the Freljord anymore. He's past the Freljord. This is probably where you'd find the Ursine. Look, the Ursine lands there, loyal to Volibear. Yeah, I always thought that was really cool, just how far north it takes you on Ryze's journey across Runeterra. So yeah, really, really cool. And that is the story of the World Runes. Yeah. I freaking love the story of Ryze and the World Runes. I think it's a great story. Ryze's lonely war continues, haunted by the past, but driven by a faint hope that he can prevent the world from destroying itself. Many miles later, I have scoured the world's shadows, an age of doing what must be done. And there are times when the weight of this duty threatens to break me. Times when my memories are as poisoned as the madness burning within Bran's skull. Yet I will go on, I will endure, I will walk this path to the journey's end through sunlight and shadow. There are worthy souls out there waiting. They could lift this burden from my back. But before I can dream of passing on my duty to another, I must heal the burning wound I carved open so long ago. I cannot ask another to face my sins in my place. Thank you, Kala. This is from the comic. Kala is a person that he works with. No matter how strong or how willing some of them might be, I will keep doing what must be done, because that treacherous ghost, Hope, haunts me still. End. And the reason the comic ends with "because that treacherous ghost, Hope, haunts me still," is because you gotta remember, he found all 4 of these world runes. You can see the one that he has here is the yellow one, and that's the shard of, where is it? Oh, it's a shard of reverence, right? Yeah, the shard of reverence. And so he has Hope haunts me still. He's still missing Hope. That's the comic. If you guys haven't read that, it's a really good comic. I have a video on it. I do like a reading of it, and I give you some pretext lore. If you guys ever want me to do like a video like that again, where I read through the lore, Ryze comic, I think I can actually come up if you just search Ryze comic. If you guys ever have like a single piece of war you want me to do an audio drama for, I literally do it with the voices and everything. So yeah, if you want to check that out, that's the comic. I read through it and everything, and I talk through the lore.
Oracle wars where the mortals of Runeterra use world runes to fight each other. These
yeah. Gotta make me a Thanos glove when I get all of them runes. Imagine. You would be worse than Thanos. No, that's very actually, that's pretty accurate. I feel like that's a really good description of what it would be like to have all the world runes. Would be Thanos level power. You can do anything with all of these world runes. But the runes are one of the biggest threats to Runeterra. We'll definitely have to deal with them eventually in the Riot MMO. And Ryze is going to be a big ally for us. Oh, and I wanted to show you guys Brand. Brand's in Wild Rift too. Where's he at? Brand. Yeah, Ryze's student that he failed. I'm sure he feels like he failed them. Yep. The Rune Wars. Alright. So we went through today. I explained to you guys why I don't want you to be deceived. You're watching the wrong fight. And the Scars of Runeterra. A Chronicle of the Rune Wars. Alright, let's get into... Now I should be able to change this pretty easily. Some old school RuneScape. Old school. There we go. Oh, this is easy. I can change this pretty easy. So I figured out how I can like change my different categories. Old school RuneScape. Because I'm streaming on like so many platforms, I really didn't want to change like the category a bunch, you know? Alright. Should be on old school RuneScape now, I think. If I go to Twitch, let me make sure. View my channel. Am I on old school RuneScape now? Yeah, I am. That worked. Nice. I think I still have to do it manually for YouTube, though. Let's get a peek behind the curtains. Live. Oh, it took away all my stuff. Though. Well, that's annoying. All the stuff that was in the bottom. I might just leave the YouTube one and not update it in the future. It's fine. Because it's just too much like time. I don't really want to do it during stream. I wish I could update the YouTube one from the Streamlabs as well. That would be awesome, but it doesn't let you. Okay. Old school RuneScape. It should pop up here pretty soon. Oh, hold on. Play. Okay. Back on old school RuneScape. What was I doing before? I was, let me see. I need to get up my defense skill. What was I at? I was at 4. Geez, I'm almost there. Okay, let's do that. I'm just going to keep trying to do like these. I'll just attack this guy. Keep trying to get through these first couple objectives. Man, look at this person got a freaking cannon. Not very powerful, though. How do they look like that? I feel like they just started too. They're fighting these goblins. Am I using the right ability? Yeah, block. Okay. This game is just so chill. It just feels calm. It's one of the. I hope that I don't want my whole game to feel this calm. You know, I'm sure there's like a lot of action later, but I hope that the Riot MMO has calm features to it. You know, I always felt like Professions was a very calm thing. Nice. I got my defense to 5. I always felt like Professions was a very calm thing in World of Warcraft, and now that's kind of gone with botting and whatnot. Like Professions really aren't worth doing, especially with the WoW token too. I hate that, like with the WoW token. Like this game has the bond system, which is literally the same thing. I don't like any. I feel like it devalues your work Professions because, okay, you could do Professions, you could try to earn gold, but there's going to be a guy who could just buy gold, and that makes your time really lose its value. Where's my magic? Magic. Lumbridge home teleport, but I need more of these. I don't have any of these sunstones. I don't know how to get them. I don't know how to figure out where to get them from. I have... I need to get my magic up. I need to get these stones. Map. Is there someone that sells like these magic stones? Oh, fishing spot. Maybe that's where I have to go to fish. General store, cooking range, quest, pub, clue, tutor, combat tutor. I don't see someone that sells these runes. Cooking shop, cooking tutor. Prayer tutor. Altar. Oh, didn't someone say I should go to the altar with the bones? Something like that. Tannery. Pole booth. I don't see anything that's like I can buy magic runes kind of thing. Maybe the general store? Minigame? The heck is that? A dairy cow? Dairy churn? A windmill? I have no idea. Maybe we'll go to the general store. I kind of want to go to this one. Where is it? Oh, that's kind of far, isn't it? Toll gate? Let's stick over here for now. I ain't trying to like go too far. All right, let's head over there. Find your way there, sir. Let's see if the general store has this sun rune so I can do a bunch of wind attacks. Oh, I have enough for this. I could have been using these while I was doing the other stuff. We're just supposed to attack by 5%. Like that would have been good to use while I was doing like the defense and the combat. I'm sure that's what people do who played the game a bunch. If they want to do these quests, they might not even do them. Wait, what? Can I help you at all? Yes, please. What are you selling? He doesn't have any runes. I can't help people either. What about the shop's assistant? He's a security book, but no runes. No magic runes. There's a rune shop south of Varrock. Otherwise, you can get runes from monster drops or from rune crafting skill. There's a rune shop south of Varrock. Are we in Varrock? Lumbridge, Drevor, Giant Plateau, Varrock. Whoa, I don't know if I want to go all the way over there. Wow, that's pretty. How big is the world? Oh, oh, wow. Wow, that's pretty big. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Man, look at this whole place over here. Lunar Tail, Framework Tail. Wow, it's actually a pretty big map. And I feel like they could make it bigger pretty easily. One thing that I do feel like happens in every single MMO is it becomes a bunch of islands. Like this was clearly the first island, you know? Maybe they added this island, they added this island, they added this big island over here. You know what I mean? They could like add this little island. I feel like I would rather have it as one homogenized world. That's why I always say with the Riot MMO, they can separate off places. There doesn't have to be islands, you know, all the time. Like when we have the Camivore expansion, what I was talking about really quick with the Camivore stuff. Where is it? Map of... So like when we eventually have the Camivore expansion, I would want to see Camivore and then separate off the independent lands with like a mountain range that we eventually get past. I don't want it to be like an island here, next island. I think Azeroth really suffers from this. Azeroth map. Yeah, that's something that Azeroth really suffers from. Is just becomes like a bunch of little islands everywhere. You have Zandalar. That's really tiny. You have Zandalar, Pandaria, Coltiris, Broken Isles, Dragon Isles, Northrend, Khazal Gore. It just becomes like a bunch of little islands compared to Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms, which feel a lot like continents. But this map is pretty big. Okay, there are rune shops south of Varrock. I don't want to go that far. Otherwise, you can get runes from monster drops or from your rune crafting skill. Let's figure that out. Worn equipment, inventory, skills, prayer guide, view rune crafting guide. Runecraft is a skill that allows you to convert essence into runes, which you can use to cast spells. To create runes, you first need some essence and a talisman of the rune you want to make. You can use a talisman to both locate and access this runic altar, which is where the runes are crafted. Higher runecraft levels will allow you to craft more kinds of runes, At higher levels, you can also be able to make multiple runes per essence. Rune pouches, infusing. Skill that allows you to convert essence into runes, which you can use to cast spells. Do I have to go to like the altar or something? I know there's like a prayer altar over here. Where is that? Down here. Okay, let's try to go that way. Maybe I have to go to like the prayer altar. It's like a little station kind of thing where I can craft runes. Oh, you guys can't hear the game. Oh, my bad. Why can't you guys hear the game? Here you go. There you go. Now you can hear the game. My bad. Okay. Which one of these? This looks like a church to my left. Yeah. Let's go in here. Hello there, sir. Talk to Father. Welcome to the Church of the Holy Sarah Dorman. Who's Sarah Dorman? Surely you have heard of the god Sarah Dorman. He who creates the forces of goodness and purity in this world. I cannot believe your ignorance. This is the god and more followers than any other, at least in this part of the world. He who created the world along with his brothers, Guthix and Zamorak. Oh, gotcha. Oh, sorry, I'm not from this world. Let's see what he says. That's strange. I thought things not from this world were all, you know, slime and tentacles. Oh, the void is present here as well. You don't understand. This is an online game. Let's see. You don't understand. This is an online game. I beg your pardon. Never mind. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool, like, little game break there. Nice place you have here. I'm looking for a quest. That's lucky. I need someone to do a quest for me. Before starting a quest, be aware that your combat level is lower than the recommended level of 10. Start the rest. No. Okay. But how do I make pray at altar? I think that just gets me like prayer, right? Point things, but I don't. How do I make these runes? Skills. View Runecraft Guide. To create runes, you'll first need some essence. Use an air talisman. Use air talisman on the air rune. What does that do? Nothing interesting happens. Air talisman on the body rune. Earth rune. Nothing happens with these. There's only one altar per type of rune you're crafting. You need to look up the location of the altar for the rune you need. Oh. See, I wouldn't know this if someone wasn't telling me. Maybe if I click it. Oh. Train your magic level 5 by fighting nearby monsters. Make sure to equip your robe and staff. I don't have a robe and staff. Spell that set that you can use and have the runes for. If you run out of runes, speak to the magic instructor south of the general store in Lumbridge. Oh, maybe I can just get some runes because I'm just starting out. South of the magic store in Lumbridge. Clue tutor. What's the magic store? Cooking tutor. Dead man tutor. Death's office. The heck is Death's office? Water source. I don't know what the magic store is. Well, let me read that again. I don't have I need to get a rope and staff too. Speak with the magic instructor south of the general store in Lumbridge. Wow, how did I read that wrong? The general store's over here. 10. South of the magic store. Okay. Talk to magic combat tutor. Hey there, adventurer. I'm your ranged combat tutor. Is there anything you would like to know? How can I train my ranged? How do I create a bow and arrow? Let's discuss now. Okay, so I need this person. Magic combat tutor. Hello there, adventurer. I'm a magic combat tutor. Would you like to learn about magic combat or perhaps how to make runes? Yes. Magic combat, please. Sure. Okay, this is your spell book. This contains all the spells you can cast. To cast a spell, you will need to have the required magic level and have the right amount of runes used to cast a spell. I know that. To check the level of the runes required, you hover, right amount of runes and magic, be able to cast it. Combat spell available, click on it once and then select your target. A good target would be a monster. Okay, try rats in the castle, or if you're feeling brave, the goblins. Nemateri, ranged combat tutor, and I both can give you items every 30 minutes. However, you must choose whether you want runes or ranged equipment. Oh, good thing I asked. Go claim runes, right click on me, and choose claim to claim ranged equipment. Right click on the ranged combat tutor to select claim. Okay, well I'm probably going to need ranged combat after this. Is there anything you'd like to know? Let's discuss runes, where I can pick them up. How do I make runes? There's a couple of things you'll need to make runes. Rune essence and a talisman. Enter a temple. To get runes essence, you'll need to gather them somehow. Duke of Lumbridge may be able to help you with that. Alternatively, other players may sell your essence. As you're fairly new to rune crafting, you should start with air runes and mind runes. That's what I want. I want the air runes. Talisman for the runes you'd like to create. Okay. Right click on the location. Runed altar. The temple's altar will imbue you with rune essence. If you want to save yourself an inventory space, you could always try binding the talisman to a tiara. To make one, take a tiara. I'm not ready for this. Let's discuss how my runes act when I pick them up. I want to get runes. I thought I can ask her for runes, and she gives me every 30 minutes. How do I make runes? Let's discuss how my runes and when I pick them up. I can't help you with that this moment. I'm sorry. Members only world. You could ask for runes to be put directly in a rune pouch when you pick them up from the ground. Okay. Goodbye. Now, maybe if I talk to her again. She's supposed to be giving me runes. I don't understand. Maybe it's someone else over here. That's melee combat, ranged combat. This lady, I think, was willing to give me. How do I create? Let's discuss my ammo axe and when I pick them up. What? Maybe this guy? Gee. Let me see what she said again. Cast spell, level up runes required. Right amount of runes. Try rats. Nematura, the ranged combat tutor, and I both give out items every 30 minutes. However, you must choose whether you want runes or ranged equipment. To claim runes, right-click on me and choose claim. Okay. Right-click, claim. I don't know if I got them. Okay, let me get through this conversation. Claim. Oh, shoot. I don't feel like I got any. Magic. I definitely didn't get any of the sun runes I needed. Okay. Right click. Claim. You have some mind runes in your bank. Okay. You have some runes in your bank. Climb the stairs of the Lumbridge Castle until you see the icon on your mini-map. There you'll find your bank. So she put them in my bank? Why not just give them to me? Okay. Let's go to the bank. I also need, apparently I need a robe and staff. Which I do not have. Climb up the stairs. And it's over here. Okay. Oh, I do have runes. Why did I put these in here? Withdraw all. I want all these. I need to do magic. Withdraw all these. Withdraw all air runes. Alright. Alright, that's fine. Okay, now we've got some magic. 15. Hopefully that's enough to get us to level 5. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. My bad. Hopefully I can run out of range of this guy. I don't know how far he follows me. Okay. Let's hit this goblin. Nice. Let's keep hitting him. Oh shoot, did I hit another goblin? Where's my magic? Oh, wait, prayer. Magic skill. Hopefully this doesn't take like too many attempts because I only got so many runes. Where's my magic skill? Slayer, Runecraft, Construction, Hunter, Magic. Ooh, I didn't even get 1 from that and I used 3. Magic. Okay. Maybe I have to equip the freaking robe too. Damn. Maybe I have to click the robe. And I don't think I have a robe. So we gotta go find one. I gotta get a robe and a staff or whatever. Let's see where I can get that from. I think I saw a tailor or something on the map. But I think that was over here. Coal booth. Tannery. Crafting shop. Platelets. Cooking. Silk trader. See, they might have a robe. Oh, there's like this over here. Altar, bank, combat, dungeon, hairdresser. Tutors, training, shopping, amulet, apothecary, archery, chainmail, clothes shop. Clothes shop? Oh, it doesn't like filter it. It's just showing me that that is a clothes shop. I don't see one. Where the heck can I get a freaking robe? I really love this game. I wish we could play together. Hit me up on Discord. Lightman0111. I'm down. I don't know anything though. Well, hit me up on Discord. I got like the Discord link below and everything. Be easier. I gotta find a robe and a freaking staff. Maybe the general store had like a random robe and staff, just like a basic one. This guy looks like a wizard. Talk to Doomsayer. Doom! Where? All around us. I can feel it in the air. Heat it on my mind. Heat it on the wind. Smell it. Also in the air. Hear it on the wind. Is there anything we can do about this, Doom? There's nothing you need to do, my friend. I am the Doomsayer. Although my title could be something like the Danger Tutor. Danger Tutor. Yes, I roam the world sensing danger. If I find a dangerous area, then I put up warning signs that will tell you what is so dangerous about that area. If you see the signs often enough, then you can turn them off by the time you likely know what the area has in store for you. But what if I want to see the warning signs again? That's why I'm waiting here. If you see the warning sign messages again, I can turn them back on for you. Thanks, I'll remember that if I see any warning messages. You're welcome. Thank you, Sir Doomsayer. I need... You know, why are goblins just walking into the store? That seems like that shouldn't be a thing. Staff, a robe, chef's hat. Oh, did this guy just sell this chef's hat? So this store is like actually a value, a newcomer map. I kind of want to buy one of those. Currently cost 1 coin. Can I buy it? 1, buy 1. That might be helpful. Read the newcomer map. That's kind of cool. I like the idea of actually having to buy a map, like instead of just clicking like world map and just having it available. I like the idea of buying a map. I think that's pretty cool. But where the heck do I get my robe? Hey. Oh, this guy disappeared. Oh, that's a real person. You'll need to have mined some ore to smelt first. Go see the mining tutor to the south if you're not sure how to do this. I mean, I don't really... I need a robe, not freaking chainmail. Let's see in here. Hello there. Who are you? I'm looking for a quest. I have to go. My name is Vios. I'm a treasure hunter from the wondrous kingdom of Great Corund. Great Corund? Where's that? Across the sea to the far west. It is a truly magnificent place. Interesting. So what brings you to Lumbridge? I'm here on a bit of a hunt. The hunt for treasure back in my home of Great Corund. I came across a scroll. I believe it will lead to something of great value. Also, I've hit a bit of a blocker. The scroll has led me here, but as I don't really know the area, I'm not sure what to do next. I don't know the area either. Well, good luck with that. I need to figure out this first. Where the frick do I get a staff and a robe? Where? Cooking. I mean, I used a lot of talismans. I didn't even get 1 magic. I think I need a staff and a robe. And I don't know where to make it. Poll booth. Farming patch. Rare trees. Yeah, I have no idea where to get like a robe. Maybe the magic tutor will tell me. I don't think they had anything on that. Maybe I can do this. If you're on a route between the magic structure south of the general store in Lumbridge, take some food to keep your hit points high. The men, chicken, and goblins near Lumbridge are suitable targets to fight. Chickens drop raw chicken and can be cooked and used for food. Oh wow, she gives a lot. Oh. I'll get a staff. That's what I'll get if I complete it. But geez, like, maybe I didn't get my, because I had runes in my bank. Let's see if she'll give me a claim magic. You already have some mind runes. Wait, claim magic. You already have some mind runes, you already have some air runes. So she's not gonna give me until I use them. Let's use them, and we'll try to claim them after. So, magic. Where the frick is that? Magic. Alright, let's attack this spider. Okay. I mean, I don't have a staff, but what are you gonna do? Alright. Oh, I just saw like it go up here. Let me see. Did that? Man, but that's like, that's very slow. That's as slow as hitting, but like I have to use these runes every time. You know what I mean? Like that's, I mean, hitting was one thing, but now I have to click on this every time and to get it up. And like I have to get way more runes. Like I'll need that freaking 200 runes to do this. Congratulations, you advanced hit points. I advanced a hit point level before I advanced a magic level. And I ran out of runes. Oh, I got one. Okay, let's go talk to this lady. I need way more runes. Get out of my way. Alright. Claim magic combat tutor. You already have some air runes. Looks like I gave you 30 mind runes. Okay. Magic. Wow, she was blocking him? I thought you just kind of like clipped through people. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Confuse? We got something. Reduce your opponent's attack by 5%. That's pretty cool. Okay. I got a hammer, some bones. Let's try that. Confuse. Oh. That's kind of cool. Confuse you more. Let's keep confusing you. It's helping me level. Stay confused. Oh, he's so confused now. I don't think I can confuse him anymore. But let's change this to like something that will actually just kill him faster. I think that'll kill faster. Oh, I got a freaking drop. I got work. Let me do one more guy. Oh, I'm out of freaking runes. Dang it. Okay, well, let's go see if she'll give me some more runes before I log off so we'll start next time. 30 minutes would have been up. We can get more runes. Let's start. Alright. Let's go. Let me talk to her really quick. Claim some more runes. No, I need you. Oh wait, she can't give me any more? I work with the range tutor to give our consumable items and you may need for combat such as arrows or runes. However, you have had some cheeky people try to take both. So every half an hour you may come back and claim either arrow or runes but not both. Come back in a while for runes or simply make your own. Yeah, it doesn't seem that simple for me to just make my own. But, okay. Guys, I gotta log off. I gotta get to my meeting. 9 o'clock. But I really like old school RuneScape so far. It's honestly a pretty fun game. It's very chill. There's some things that I like, some things that I don't like. But at the end of the game, it's a very old game. So, like a goblin running around in the town, it's pretty not great. The way the tutorial system is not great. But the overall gameplay is pretty fun. Alright guys, thanks for stopping by the Grove, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.